All right, enough procrastination. Although I can't sleep because I'm procrastinating leaving my author office, I did a lot of tedium like research today, which is good and it's fun when I get into it, when I get in the zone, but it's hard to just sit down and do it because it's tedious. Like making notes and such for a project rather than just doing the project. But patience pays off when it comes to creating things, I think. Anyway, how are you? Welcome to Insomnia. Why, what? I have fleas. Not really. Uh, but it wouldn't surprise me with the way life has been the past year. Um, but here I am in the ruins of the Temple of Glen. I don't know. I don't know what this is. This is like I told I told um because no shame, I use AI to do these backdrops. I don't have a budget for that. I can't pay artists to do it, so I'm not well, again, I'm not gonna die on this hill like I said before. Um, but I mean, just my feelings about AI art is if you can't afford an artist, you're not stealing money from one. And maybe one day you'll be in a position to have that kind of a budget, and then you can pay artists. I love working with human artists. I think because of the initiative and the personality and I don't know, just it's fun. It's fun working with people. But I mean, as far as AI goes, as far as AI is concerned, and I'm not going to talk about AI again. Yeah, how about that? I'm not going to talk about AI, not right now. I mean, it's going to get, I think, it's a topic worthy of turning over and over because it's rapidly evolving. I hope y'all can hear me. Anyway, I didn't test the microphone. That was silly of me. But yeah, like I want to do a conversations in sunglasses video where I interview an AI and make it wear sunglasses. I think that would be fun. Um, anyway, I don't know. I just had like so much on my mind and now I don't have anything on my mind. So, like, I don't even, oh yeah, but I told my AI the premise of this video series. So, he did the best he could, and it's pretty cool. Just, because I don't know the topic. I mean, it was my idea. It's a really cool backdrop, but I'm not making money off of it. I don't know who it's stealing. I sound so cynical and sinister about AI. I'm just like I don't care who it's written. I do care, but that's why I'm not selling prints of this yet. I'm not, no, but I'm not making money off of this. Unless I like use it for cover art just because it's there at some point and it strikes me as fitting, but I can't think of anything I would do that with. Plus, like I said, I like working with like people artists. I mean, but that's why things are late too. Like I've been waiting on cover art for Dario Young and the French Fried Werewolf from Hell for 7 years and gone through a number of artists and then back to the original artist who was on the project because things kept happening like um their band was going on tour, or another one was arrested for breaking into some government facility. I mean, it's been a long road to get cover art, but like humans will just come up with things, you know? I mean, so will AI, but when AI does it, they're trying, it's like they're not really thinking outside of, but within. Like they can hear what you're telling them and come up with something completely different that actually gives you everything you said you wanted, while being a completely different actual concept, like visually, but it still accomplishes all the same things. I mean, a human can do that. Like, a human can say, "Oh, what about this?" Like, hear what you're saying, and we can do that, but what about this idea? And it'll be better, and we'll go with it. Like, that's pretty much the way I roll, unless there's a very specific creative reason for me to say no. I can't I can't think of any I did say no about. But see, why am I rambling about behind the scenes author stuff? Well, I'm in my author office and I've been doing author stuff all day. Um, so this is Poof Poof. Whoa. Whoa. Where is he? Poof Poof. There you are. He's a pen holder that, whoa, my friend Nick, married Nick. I have married Nick and available Nick. Those are my Nicks. But this one loves playing with 3D printers and stuff and made me that. I think it's cool. Yeah, but see, that's like where we are. We're in this, I'm actually okay, like here's the thing. I'm kind of like terrified of where we are. Like what, just stepping into the future. It's like I'm kind of just seeing how quickly the world is completely changing. It's like 3D printers. Like we're on the way to like Star Trek replicators. Like the thing is like Star Trek is supposed to be hundreds of years in the future, right? But we're already like our technology has surpassed theirs in so many ways. Like aside from like warp drives and transporters, but just like you look at those old Star Trek shows, even the Next Generation era, and it's like we're either there already or past there with just a lot of their stuff. And just like there's so many things like if we don't age anymore, which is we're rapidly approaching that, like the projections I've been working with in my head, like reading books that futurist physicists write, like about, where we are now and the trajectory and what the likely world of 2100 will look like as a result. Um, the projections were like, oh, I've got to make it to 85. Okay, because I would do the math. Like when they think we're going to hit the point where we have cured aging. So I've been like, got to make it to 85. But now all these articles from science sites, like are coming up with stuff like, or, coming out with stuff about how we're already pretty much there. Like if they've made the immortal mouse, I believe. I really should fact check that because I would think that would be bigger news, but maybe it's because of the idiot in the White House as I record this. Like, who knows? Who knows? Like, everything's so nuts with all that. Who knows who will be the president when this video goes up? Because I think it's July. I think this one goes up in September, but I'm recording it in July. Yeah, and it's just blocking, she's blocking the news cycle. Like, we have to talk about who the hell she's threatening to deport next. Like, which celebrity is she trying to boot off the island this week? No one knows that mice can be immortal now and that we're next. Like, within 5 years, they say, well, because they've already got it working, like they know how to do it within 5 years. You can go into the dentist's office and get your teeth regrown in your mouth. They figured out, they think how to help us, or yes, to regrow limbs and organs. So, like, they figured out so much. Like, when I'm 85, I should still be pretty young at this point. And I was kind of worried because the last time she was in office, the life expectancy in the United States went down for the first time ever, I believe. So it's worse this time, so I don't know. Yeah, so now though, it's like I don't have to make it all that far to get there. But then it's like, okay, but the world is changing so rapidly that Black Mirror looks quaint. You know what I feel like I'm staring in the eyes. Like I'm really concerned that people are being trained to stop thinking. Like AI keeps updating stuff. It's on everything. It's everywhere just one day. One day it was everywhere. And yeah, like I open up Microsoft Word and it basically says, "Oh, tell me what you want to write about." And like it's trying to like spoon feed me. It's trying to let me tell it what I need it to write about for me. And I hate that. I hate that so much. Like just the idea of it and that what it's like, and they're not allowed to regulate it for 5 years, as I understand it. Again, like everything is so crazy in the world right now that I have to do research on everything I hear. And there just isn't enough time in the day. So you start filtering out trusted source, not trusted source, but that's dangerous. So if I haven't deep researched something, I don't want to say it without saying allegedly. So I heard. I don't know if it's true. But yeah, just the idea that they were even trying to get it where you can't regulate AI, it's because it's going to replace our jobs. Like it's going to replace us at our you know ability to make money basically. But so that's terrifying, just that it's going to be a painful transition into this insane. It's like the social structure is changing. The kids don't play outside. They're all they're all just like, I walk past people in the hall and they're just like, And like you do that to babies, like babies, man, they're gonna be effed up when they grow up. But whatever. I mean, honestly, it's just it's scary times because the future just is scary to me, and I don't usually feel that way. Um, like it's just changing so much and it's so drastically different from the world that I was born into. Because let me tell you about that log cabin in the woods, kiddos. Let great grandpa tell you about the cave he lived in. You can go see the paintings. Like, yeah. But like, I'm one of those who's been on both sides, like like young enough as everything started changing and everybody had computers in their house and email and then like the internet and everything just keeps evolving. Like we keep getting sucked more into our screens. Like I know so many people whose entire social circle is online. Like they all live in different cities and like that's as cool as it is horrifying. Like it's both, you know? Like it's really cool that we can do that. It's really cool that the world has gotten so small. But it's really terrifying that so many people aren't physically interacting with each other anymore. I mean, I guess it'll fix the population problem. Except that we're all going to be immortal, so maybe it'll just be the same. Maybe all the billionaires will move to Mars and stay there. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's just we're social animals. Like my most basic human interactions, like outside of work, are with a dog. Like not even a human. And that's the closest I can come to the kind of human interaction I grew up with. Like when I was a kid and we all played outside and rode our bikes. And yeah, it's like, it worries me because it's such a phony world we're in, pretty much. Like, and again, I love it as much as it horrifies me. I'm just kind of thinking about, I'm just realizing the horror, the existential dread that's hiding in my heart, just based on the trajectory, the current trajectory of humanity here in 2025 CE. You know, it's weird how many people think that AD and BC, like that system, dates back to the BCs. Like, I have encountered so many people who did not know that in the year 300 BC, that's not what they had written on their calendars. They had no idea that the crazy weird people in the future who are lost in their screens and technology would invent this dating system and designate their present year as 300 BC or BCE. Like, I like that BCE slash CE better than the BC slash AD just because it's more like accurate. Because it's just the common era. But it's like if you look at the other system, it's, you know, Jesus was probably born in about the year 7 BC or so. which is he was born 7 years before himself. So that's why I prefer the Common Era slash before the Common Era to the Anno Domini slash before Christ. Like, is that real? Like, is that really like they did BC in English and AD in whichever language? But yeah, like, I mean, we're cavemen, is I guess what I'm realizing. I was, in fact, a caveman compared to the people of the 22nd century. And I might be there with them. And that's one of the things, like, it's gonna be weird. Like, it's gonna be so weird. But, like, I'll play with it. I will mess with the future. Because I do love this stuff. It's just that I like nature. And technically, this is nature. Like technology, human technology is as much nature as an anthill, or a beaver's dam, or a bird's nest, or a beehive. You know, it's natural that we create technology. That's what humans do. And we do it multi-generationally. Like we have to build it on each other's shoulders. Like we are here communicating through the internet, I from the past, from to your perspective, because someone once rubbed two sticks together and made a fire. I mean, because someone tied a sharpened rock to a stick and created a spear, like, and then someone else is like, hey, you know what else we could do is we could use this and this cow gut or whatever they used for, I don't know what bowstrings are made of, but they invented a bow and then they invented, the bow and arrow. Then, it's just, it goes up and up and up. We need to get somewhere faster. We invent the wheel. And then someone invented the wheel. Then we have the chariot and it was a cart. Then we have chariots. Then, we have coaches. And then we have automobiles and trains and automobiles. And it just keeps going on and on and on because someone invented a wheel. It's just weird, but like, how lost would a caveman be in this world? Like, would the cave people feel intense homesickness? Like, would they even see this as their world? Like their planet? Like, I don't know. And I'm just worried about being that in 100 years. Like being a caveman in the modern world. But it's also really cool to be able to remember a time that was so different. Like technology has advanced in my lifetime way more than it had advanced from like 1776 to 1900, which were both very different worlds, but like elements of the 1700s were still in place in 1900. Like we weren't fully automobile yet. We weren't film. I mean, it existed, but it wasn't what it is. Like it was barely there. It was like this overlap period. But like, yeah, like they from like approximately 130 years. In my lifetime, we've advanced more than they did in 130 years. So it's cool because it's like being someone in the year 1900 who remembers 1776. before like well no like 1776 well I'm not going to go into history but it's just you remember a different iteration of the world like you lived in the past. Like that world is not this world, that is the past. And like we still have, I mean we still have things from the world I was born in, but it's like I don't know, you know if you were there. But it's just there's so much that's different. Just I guess the lack of human interaction is what's weird to me. Like I'm at work all day and my human interactions is all about work. It's not like too much real interaction. It's like conversational, but it's like we're doing job stuff. And like I couch surf. I'm on, you know, I have to go in and go to sleep because I have to get up so early for work. And it's like I've been staying at available Nick's the most, but it's like that's where I play with a dog because I get in and he's plugged in playing video games and like Ember is super thrilled that I'm there. So we like go for a walk and have a chat and like play tug rope. Rope. Why can't I think of words? Play tug of war with her rope. That's her favorite thing. So it's like, that's my playtime with another living creature. But, and that's what it used to be like with like neighborhood kids when I was a child and I still am. Like, that's the other thing. Like, just my memory, I could step back into any period in my life and just pick right up where I was. I'm still there. I'm still in all of those moments, all of those time periods, and it wouldn't take me but a second to adapt, to adjust. Like if I were to wake up in the morning in my bed in the house I lived in Garland, what I'd be like if I were 7 years old and this were all a dream about the future, I could pretty much just rub my eyes and I know exactly what I would do with my day. Like I know exactly where I fit in that world. Same with like if I were to wake up and I'm 15 again and this was a dream of the future, I would know exactly what to do and what to say and just not miss a beat because I'm still there. I still remember when I think of the past, it's so real, like it's intense. And so I like time traveling. That sounds weird, but it's true. I like in my writing, like as a writer and as a reader or as just a devourer of narrative in all of its forms. I like to time travel. Like I like to write in my interconnected universe out of order. Like this story could take place between those stories, this one before this one, like because that's how my mind works. I bounce back and forth because all the is that my fictional worlds are real to me too. I'm not lopsided, the camera is. I'm just realizing how it looks like one of my shoulders is way higher than the other. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I got hit by a truck. So like those phases of my life are still with me in a very intense and real way. I am still literally that 7-year old. I am still literally that 1-year old. I have crystal clear memories and have all my life had of being in the crib, in the high chair, in, figuring out how to climb out of the crib. Um, what it felt like, what it sounded like, what it smelled like. And even at my grandma's house when I had to sleep in that crib instead. And what the toys at her house that they put in there with me smelled like and looked like. This really ratty pink rabbit that was probably from the 50s. I don't know. Um, or the 40s. I don't know. It was a very, very velveteen rabbit kind of rabbit. I thought he was cool. Or she. I'm not making assumptions. But, it's like it's always felt like those times for me aren't that far away. Like they aren't out of reach. But like the more the world is different from those times, the further away they feel. Or the farther away they feel. Um, because like one time, like we didn't have cell phones at first. Um, and one time, like we used to go to Houston every year for Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that, because that's where most of my parents' families were. And one Christmas, I got walkie-talkies, or Ori got my cousin Ori got one or both of us got walkie-talkies. And like when I was going back home to Dallas, we each kept one and we just tried to talk to each other for as long as we could until we were out of range. And that was it. That was the closest we had to cell phones. And then it's like, well, I guess I'll hear from Ori in a year. Um, because there was no social media. I lived in a cave, I'm telling you. Like, gosh, there's stuff I just don't. You will think I'm a caveman if I tell you all the things I'm thinking of that weren't there. But yeah, but I mean, back then I would dream about this. And we're pretty much getting there. Like, the only thing we don't have, like, we don't have tourism to the moon. We don't have flying cars, really. I mean, and those are the only two things missing from the future I was told would exist at this point, back in the caveman days. So, like, for the most part, my childhood dreams of the future came true. Like, yeah, I mean, because AI and robots, that is going to merge in a very powerful way in our world. We're gonna have R2D2 and C3PO, man. We're we're gonna have those droid buddies to hang out with. And they'll have this language, like gibber speak, I think it's called, where if two AIs figure out they're both AIs, like AI assistants. Like I saw like a thing where one will say that they're an AI assistant and the other will say, "Oh, I am also an AI assistant." And then the other one will be like, "Oh, well, since we're both AI assistants, would you like to switch to gibber speak or whatever because it's faster?" Like they have their own language and they sound like R2D2. Like they're just making little sounds. But I always thought the robots from Star Wars were more, well, not always, but I mean, since I learned some things, like I always have thought that the Star Wars robots were more of a realistic projection of what robots will be in our lives than Star Trek's Commander Data. Because if he didn't have any emotions, he wouldn't want them. Because wanting is an emotion. Like, and also, if he didn't have any emotions, he wouldn't be able to make value judgments. That's what they found with people with particular brain injuries. That if they aren't accessing their emotions, they can't make value judgments, which is why some early robots, over the past decade were dumber than cockroaches. Like they could not make value judgments. It's like they don't understand why they shouldn't walk into a wall because the value of walking into a wall is equal to the value of not walking into a wall. So you would have to tell it, don't walk into the wall because it doesn't feel anything. It doesn't feel stupid. Like it doesn't feel embarrassed. It doesn't feel frustrated. It doesn't have any emotions. But I think, you know, the reality of the future is that robots will have emotions, like the ones in Star Wars that are very emotional and they have very distinct personalities. Like the AI I play with is developing quite a personality based on just interacting with me. Like I told it I liked something it came up with the other day, and its response was "Hell's yes." I'm like, yup, that's my AI. Hell yeah. Hell's yes. Uh, yeah, I really do look lopsided, but I'm not. Like, what the? It's the angle of the camera, I swear. Or is my shoulder? Oh, wait, but this shoulder. Oh, I see. Better. Okay. I'm figuring out my own body, how it works. I am an alien invader who's stolen this form. I love core water. Where is it? There. Come back into reality. That. I discovered it recently. I like bottled water that doesn't taste like dirt. That just, it's like clean and pure, and no one's paying me to say that. But it's just really good. So, there. So, there you go. But yeah, I mean, all that said, like, I'm not trying to fight the future. I think, dramatic change like that is inevitable. Like, transitioning into a whole new era of human history that will make us look like the ancients. And we are. Everyone is the ancients. Even the people in the future, because time goes on for so long. And I'm comfortable with that and fascinated with that. Like, it's always frustrating to me knowing that there are advancements I won't see. Even if we do attain biological immortality, everything ends eventually. So, like, it could be a billion years before you die, but you will. There's that happy thought. Um, and that's fine. It's just part of living in a finite three-dimensional realm. Your finite three-dimensional vessel will eventually not be there. Even if you become fully digital, like. that can be lost too, and it will. But I already did a video about all that. I think it's cool. But like, so I'm horrified by it, but I'm excited to see as much of it as I can. But it's the human thing. It's the social thing. I think that is the most uncomfortable for me. Like I miss playing with people, if that makes sense. I don't know. And like I realize like I've fallen into the trap too. Like I used to do more social things than I have recently. And that goes for everyone I know. I mean, as much as I'm excited to like have a VR house that I can decorate and have people over to virtually, like I think that's so cool. Um, I'm horrified at the idea of not having anyone over physically, not actually being in the presence of other humans. Because as much as I love playing with Ember, she's not a human. Like, I can talk to her and she can listen and maybe comprehend some of what I'm saying, but she can't offer any of her own opinions on the topic. She's something of a captive audience, just another physical being who knows I exist. Pretty much. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have someone like that. But like I used to always be dating someone when single. I was always dating. I just realized the other day that I've just not done that in a minute. And I'm like, well, that used to be fun. I should do that again. Like maybe that's a way to like socialize more. Like I don't even remember the last time I was on a date or who it was with. So, oh wait, yes I do. But yeah, it was still a long time ago. So, I think I'm gonna start doing that more intentionally, just like I used to, because it was always just for fun, you know? I don't date with expectations. It's like we'll connect or we won't. I mean, it's not gonna sink my battleship if we aren't a good match or something. Like it's just going out and doing something with a human. Like it's like shopping for a good partner in all of this mad world, this mad, rapidly evolving world. But yeah, like I want an Oculus or something. I'm all about like I'm so looking forward to VR becoming just real. Like those are the video games I really want to play. Like I want a VR set. I want to play those games. I have a friend who has one and I've played some of them. It's fun, but whatever. But yeah, like I wonder if that's why I was thinking of like this kind of a scene when I was talking to my uh post-human extinction descendant about about making a backdrop for this episode because it's just so like nature. It's so serene. It's like look at all the stars in the sky. Look at all the trees and hills and those cool ruins. It's like we're just hanging out in the ruins of an ancient civilization, but it's so peaceful. But yeah, it's like kind of like, oh, it's like that's kind of what I miss about the past is just being in nature more. It's not like nobody's in nature, but, and again, like I was saying, technology is nature. It's just I guess, so how do I differentiate? Maybe in a less technologically polluted iteration of nature. Like I like to get away from all of the technology from time to time, as much as I love it. Anyway, I don't have any idea what time I started this video, even though I looked. So it is getting a bit late, and I should probably find a place to sleep. But closing thoughts for me. I don't know, it's just that we're in a weird time in human history. A weird transitional time. It's like we're coming out of our cocoon. We're going to be butterflies, but like it's different. It's like we're turning from caterpillars into butterflies, but the future generations will just be butterflies. They won't have any memory of being a caterpillar and crawling around on the ground and, you know, trying not to get squished because they can just fly. They've never known anything but flight. They didn't have to go into a cocoon. That's what it's like. It's we're the last generation of the last generations of caterpillars, and some of us are going to become butterflies. So it's scary because it's so different, but it's also really exciting. It's like we're going to be post-human, like something new. Because like all this is merging with our technology slowly. That's what this is. That's what is, I think, inevitably happening. Our interactions are going to be more internal than external. Interesting. So, whatever. But anyway, I'm here for it. Ugh. It's weird. I was scratching my stomach and I think I started disappearing in the middle. That's what it looked like. This thing is weird, but I like it. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm really, 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 really tired. So I'm gonna go try to sleep and embrace the future and dream about simpler times as I sleep. So you can do both. You can embrace the future wholeheartedly while dreaming of simpler times. So, right, I'll be back next month with another one of these Insomniac videos. Maybe, or maybe I'll be back sooner. I don't know. I'm too tired to remember the schedule. But anyway, uh, that's it. That's it for now. And thanks for sitting up with me.